Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're tuning in today because we are stepping right into the kitchen for a true culinary masterclass. We're going to break down an insanely gorgeous, delicious dessert, the Honey-Mascarpone Mille-Feuille. You know, if you've ever been to a high-end restaurant and just wondered, how on earth do they create those impossibly delicate, perfect layers? Well, you are in the exact right place. We're going to deconstruct this whole recipe and turn what looks like pure culinary magic into a totally simple, achievable process for anyone cooking at home. So let me just ask you, what do you think is the real secret to taking a simple evening snack and transforming it into a full-blown restaurant-quality dessert? Is it like thousands of dollars in equipment, decades of pastry school? Actually, no way. As we're going to see throughout this explainer, the true secret is just mastering basic textures and sharp contrasts. It's really just knowing how to put a crisp element right next to a silky one or, a bitter note right up against a sweet one. All right, here's our game plan for today. First, an elevated evening dessert. 2, mastering pastry and cream. 3, candied nuts and burnt honey. 4, the art of assembly. And finally, number 5, flavor balance and pairings. Let's dive right in. Okay, section 1, an elevated evening dessert, a study in texture and contrast. So we're not just throwing a sweet treat together today, we're essentially doing a deliberate balancing act. This Mille-Feuille recipe is literally a masterclass in structure. We're playing with super crisp puff pastry, this incredibly silky mascarpone cream, and beautifully crunchy nuts. But what's really fascinating here is how we break down the core flavor concept. We're using honey, right? But we're actually using 2 entirely different expressions of it to build this really complex balanced profile. In the cream filling, the honey stays really light and floral, but for the drizzle, we are pushing that honey until it gets deep and caramelized. It's the exact same ingredient, just manipulated 2 different ways to create this mind-blowing depth of flavor. Moving on to section 2, mastering pastry and cream, the foundation of the Mille-Feuille. Look, if we get these 2 basic foundational techniques right, the rest of the dessert basically builds itself. And the best part, it's totally approachable for a home cook. Okay, let's look at this first step. You're going to start with 1 sheet of all-butter puff pastry. And yes, the all-butter part is absolutely crucial for the flavor. You'll roll it out nice and thin, cut it into rectangles. Now, here's a brilliant little technique. You lightly brush those rectangles with about a tablespoon of honey and then dust them with a tablespoon of powdered sugar before you bake them at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 200 degrees Celsius, for around 12 to 15 minutes. Brushing them with that honey and powdered sugar combo, that's the secret sauce right there. It caramelizes in the high heat and gives your pastry that perfect glossy, shatteringly crisp crunch. Next up is the cream. You're going to take a 1/4 cup of heavy cream and whip it until you get soft peaks. Then you introduce a 1/2 cup of mascarpone cheese, 2 tablespoons of your light floral honey, and a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now listen, the crucial thing here is your technique. You absolutely have to fold the whipped cream into the mascarpone. Please don't vigorously mix it. Gently folding it keeps that silky lightness we just created in the whipped cream. That's what gives the whole mixture the structural integrity it needs to, actually hold up those heavy layers of pastry. Once it's all folded together, just pop it in the fridge to chill until it's smooth and perfectly spreadable. All right, section 3, candied nuts and burnt honey, creating the flavor bomb. Okay, so we've got our rich, silky foundation sorted. Now we need the bittersweet and crunchy elements that are going to cut right through all that richness. Let's tackle the crunch first. You'll need 1/2 cup of nuts, and honestly, the recipe suggests pistachios, almonds, or hazelnuts, but I'm here to tell you, literally just use whatever nuts you have sitting in your pantry. It'll be fine. Toss those nuts into a pan over heat with 2 tablespoons of honey and a little pinch of sea salt. Stir them around for just 2 or 3 minutes until they look beautiful and glossy. After that, just spread them out on some parchment paper to cool and harden, and then give them a rough chop. It is such an easy alternative to buying those expensive pre-candied nuts at the store, and that little hit of salt adds a fantastic savory touch. And now, we have arrived at the single most crucial element of this entire dish. The source material describes it perfectly, calling it a rich, bittersweet drizzle, the flavor bomb, and they hit the nail on the head. This burnt honey is exactly what takes this dish from just a nice sweet treat to a genuinely unforgettable culinary experience. Let's break down the actual process for making this drizzle, because it's a bit delicate. You put 3 tablespoons of honey into a small saucepan and heat it up until it deepens into this gorgeous amber color. But be warned, once honey gets going, it darkens incredibly fast, so this demands 100% of your attention. The exact second it hits that amber stage, yank it off the heat. Then, you're going to carefully whisk in 1 tablespoon of water and a tiny pinch of salt. As it sits there and cools slightly, it's going to thicken up into that perfect sticky drizzle. I really want to emphasize this, though, because this is for sure the most common mistake home cooks make with this recipe. You have got to remove the honey right at that amber stage. If you turn your back or walk away for even 10 seconds, you run the risk of crossing the line from beautifully caramelized to just harshly burnt, and nobody wants that. We're aiming for a sophisticated bittersweet balance here. We want deep flavor, not acrid bitterness. So seriously, watch it like a hawk. Let's move to section 4, the art of assembly, elegant stacking techniques. So we have all of our components ready to go. Now's the fun part, bringing all those incredible textures and flavors together into a visual masterpiece. Stacking it is wonderfully straightforward, but hey, presentation is everything, right? You start with your base layer of crisp pastry, then add a nice dollop of that chilled honey-mascarpone cream. Repeat that whole thing once more, pastry, then cream. Finally, you gently place your top layer of pastry. But wait, here's a super cool design tip right from the source. Keep your layers neat, but slightly offset that top piece of pastry. Just that tiny little shift breaks up the rigid symmetry and instantly gives the whole dessert a really refined, modern, high-end restaurant look. As we get to the final plating, keep these quick tips in mind. First up, restraint is your best friend. Don't overfill the cream. Clean, defined layers look way more elegant than cream just squishing out the sides everywhere. Next, grab that cooled burnt honey and elegantly drip it all over the top. Scatter those chopped candied nuts. Now, if you happen to have some fresh berries on hand, toss a few on there. But remember, they are entirely optional. If you don't have them, don't even sweat it. It won't ruin a single thing. Finish the whole plate off with a very light dusting of powdered sugar and maybe, if you're feeling fancy, a little garnish of fresh mint or edible flowers. And finally, section 5, flavor balance and pairings, the perfect evening vibe. We've built our masterpiece, guys. Now it's all about how you serve it to perfectly balance those deep flavors we worked so hard on. But before you rush to bring it to the table, here is one last top-tier chef secret for you. Briefly chill the fully assembled dessert. I know it's tempting to eat it right away, but this is so important. Chilling it ensures that the mascarpone cream sets up just a tiny bit more against that crisp pastry. Giving it that quick rest is exactly what's going to let you make incredibly clean slices without the layers completely sliding apart on the plate. It secures that perfect Instagram-worthy cross-section. To wrap things up, let's talk drinks. What is the perfect pairing for those dual honey flavors? The source material gives us some really fantastic ideas. A warm cup of chamomile tea works absolute wonders because its gentle, floral notes directly echo that light honey we folded into the cream. Now, if you're looking for something with a bit more punch, lavender tea adds this great herbal contrast that just slices right through the richness of the mascarpone. Or, hey, if you're leaning into a more indulgent sort of evening, a light dessert wine beautifully balances the intense, bittersweet depth of that burnt honey drizzle. Well, we did it. We deconstructed the layers, we mastered the textures, and we totally unlocked the magic of manipulating just one single ingredient to create wildly contrasting flavors. That burnt honey technique, it is an absolute game changer. So I'm going to leave you with this. Now that you know the secret of burnt honey, what else in your kitchen is just waiting to be elevated? Maybe it's a simple bowl of morning oatmeal or even a piece of roasted salmon? Take these techniques, have fun experimenting, and truly enjoy your culinary creations. Thanks so much for hanging out with me on this explainer, and happy cooking.